My name is Patrick, but you can call me 26. And what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about operators, arithmetic operators in Swift, right? So they work pretty much like they do in other languages. And we could first start by looking at the addition operator. So we could say something like 7 plus 2. And if we run that, that's going to give us presumably 9. And you know, Swift is very finicky about space. So if you try to do this, it is going to complain. You can, it's not a post-unary operator, right? And you're going to look at those in a bit. So you need to give equal space unless you want to use a post-unary operator. So we do that. Then we say 7 minus 2, which is going to be exactly what you think it's going to be. That's going to be 5. Then we do the same for the multiplication, which is going to be 7 multiplied by 2, which will give you 14. And finally, we have 7 divided by 2, which if we run is going to give us 3, right? It's going to give us the whole number because this is, we're doing integers, right? 7 is an integer here, right? And if we want to get the remainder, we have the modulo operator, 7 modulus 2, which is going to give us 1, I believe, right? That's the case. And also we could use the unary operators, the ones that it was complaining about. And for example, we could say here, var a is going to be a number, let's say 3. So we could come here and we say, var b is just going to be negative a, right? And after that we could print b. So we come here and we say print b like so. And if we run this should give us negative 3, right? So it's the negative of that. And we could come here and say something like var c is going to be negative b. And if we print c, so we come here and we say print, okay, let's do it in the next line. Come here and we say print c like so. Run this, and this is going to be 3, right? Because it's a negative and a negative, right? So it's going to be positive 3, right? And of course you could make it positive by saying this would not work. If we say c is going to be negative b and we say var d is going to be negative c like so. And if we run this, it's still going to be negative 3, right? Because it's a positive now. And if you add that, it's going to be a negative, right? So those are the unary operators. And another thing you should be aware of is that the order of operations matters, like when you're doing mathematics. So for example, if you come here and you say something like print, and we say we want 5 plus 11 multiplied by 3. It's going to do 11 multiplied by 3 and then add it to 5 rather than 5 plus 11 and then multiply by 3, which is going to give you 38, right? So the order of operations matter. Now, the next thing we'd like to do is we would like to talk about compound assignment operators, right? So for example, here we have a being 3, right? We could come here and we say a plus equals 2, right? If we do this and then we say print a, this is going to give us, take the value of a and add to it 2, right? So that could be, is going to give us 5. And we could do the same for negative. We could say something like print b minus equals 3 like so. And if we print b, come here and say print that like so. If we do this, you're going to get negative 6 because b is negative a, right? So we could also do the same for divide. I'm just going to do that there like so. Do that, and that is going to be negative 1. And we could do it for multiplication like so. Do that, and that's going to give us negative 9, right? So yeah, so that's one way you could you could also come into this. You'd find it a lot when you're looking at code. And another thing you would have to keep in mind is that they have to be the same type. Like, two variables have to be the same type when you want to perform operations on them. For example, if we come here and we say let e is going to be a type of float like so. It's going to be a type of float, and it's going to be something like 13 point, let's say 9. And then we say let f, which is going to be a type of integer, and this is going to be something like let's say 7, right? If we come here and we say print e multiplied by f, and you try running this, it cannot be applied because you see we have a float and an integer, right? So if you have a float and an integer, you have to cast one as the other in order to make it work, right? Usually the larger one. So here what we would do is, let's come here and wrap this as a float. Let's convert the integer into a float, right? Come here, say something like float. Come here. Let's do that. Cast it as a float, and then try running this. And now, presumably, you're going to get an answer of 97.29 because you have turned this into a float, right? So you would have to keep track of the various values that you're using and make sure that they're the exact same. Otherwise, you may not be able to perform some operations on them, right? So always keep track of that.